Overwatch is a team-based shooter with unique characters and exciting gameplay. Out of all multiplayer games, this game has the best roster of characters by far. You have the realistic characters like McCree and McCree. Realism is awesome in video games and adds a lot to the experience, by the way. Then you have the psychopathic hamster who uses a ball max to crush people in a blood sport. Realism is getting boring in video games. You also have some great characters like the E-Girl, the Ape, Widowmaker, who will make all Christian moms spontaneously combust with anger, and Doomfist. Doomfist is cool because he is basically a fighting character in a shooter game. I specialize in taking people out with melee combos. However, the feeling of doing this doesn't compare to doing it on a real live human being. Besides having great characters, the game also has exciting gameplay. In this game, you either have to capture points, push payload, or do both while the enemy tries to stop you. Although this is like most shooter games, the exciting team fights and battles make it something special. Teams have to coordinate attacks, flanks, and which also use in order to win a fight, which are usually intense and are usually one-sided with the power of teamwork. Gameplay isn't only made fun from the team fights, however. The game's characters are easy to learn, yet hard to master too. For example, you can play the bane of my existence as a tank player by just freezing people and shooting them in the head. Or you can do this. I got 41 outvotes on Reddit because of this, and I'm proud of myself, okay? Although the gameplay is great, the game still has some issues. The addition of roll queue to the game has made queue times for DPS last over 10 minutes and has restricted the creativity of team comps, but at the same time it has also increased match quality and made it less frustrating to play the game. Now you may be asking, why is there roll queue in the first place? Well... Alright guys, so this is Brigitte. She was a character who they added who basically had an AoE heal when she did damage, and people would just crowd around, and she would be the most effective if you were around her, and her ultimate basically made everyone go fast and give a ton of armor and stuff. So basically this character countered dive comp because she could stun people when they jumped in, and she could knock people back. Now because of this, people realized that you could just play 3 tanks and 3 supports and just crowd around her and just like go crazy and get tons of kills and tons of heals. So because of this, they made the game into League of Legends. It became the worst thing ever. That's why they added roll queue, and because of this is what you deserve. Just go die, please. Just die. You don't deserve it. Like, you're the worst character. The game has had a lacking of new characters, event updates, and maps for a year now, which has made the game quite boring after a while. However, the updates like experimental, the mini challenges, and some new workshop tools have made the game consistently fun. Overwatch is a great game despite its flaws and still is the best multiplayer game I've ever played.